All right, so this is now session 16 of the Sphere of Power campaign. Reunited, the party has now located their lost wizard being chased down by a bunch of shape-changing elves who thought that they had an easy prey, but didn't realize that he had companions lurking elsewhere in what you guys have now discovered to be a maze. So you, after defeating what was left of this group of 5, you have regrouped in the room where Redreth originally found them. And with not quite sure which way is up, quite literally at this point, you have 4 doors in the room that you are in. You've decided to settle down and secure yourselves for a long rest, was my last understanding. So I want to make sure that we've got everything in play there. Any spell choice changes you need to make, any healing that needs to be done, any other prep that you guys need to do before I trigger a long rest?
I would, before we go to sleep, I would like to talk to Jim about how this room orients to his map. I guess we could do that before or after we sleep, either way.
I would consider that, bedtime discussion, basically.
Okay.
So you've got your bedroll set up, you've set guards around the room, and now you're settling down for the evening, or
whatever time
morning,
of day
whatever time of day it is.
Yeah,
So,
one thing I've noticed about the various rooms in this little maze that we're in is depending upon which door you go out, they change orientation. And as you can see on the little map I posted of my sketchings of the various directions I've gone, there was the one room down in the lower right that I went out the side and came back in the bottom. And I went around that a couple times, and every time I went around it, the orientation changed. So when I came back in, I went out the left, and I came back in the left and went out the top. But it was the same because I could see the orientation of the little sledge that was on the ground with the skeleton. I could tell that the same room was just changing direction, spinning around on me. So, yeah, so it got really confusing. So I decided to just leave on my map. I just leave it in the orientation it was in when I first came into it. And so
where's the room?
The room we're in is the room we're in is the one marked Bad Elves. And the green arrow is where you guys came from, and which is the room currently on the map that we're all in, is the left door is from where you guys came from, and I came from the right, and we all chased out the right.
Excellent job, Jim. All of that was accurate.
I was crossing my fingers there a bit at the end.
Yeah, so the bad elves
turned out to be something. They're not elves, they're something else, but yeah.
Right. But I thought, just clarify for me, I thought we left this room and went to another room and a hallway where there were elves on the ground. So I didn't think Bad Elves was this room.
Well, there should have been a few.
There were 2 corpses in this room.
Yeah.
Or one or two.
One, I think.
This is the room the first fireball went off in.
Correct.
And then he moved into the next one, and we saw him go into the one cross door and followed him in it. We did fall back to this room.
This isn't the south.
One clarification, the area where you finished off these humanoids and began reconnecting with each other was actually a corridor and not a room.
Yeah.
Right.
The corridor intersection.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that's the one mark. That's the one that has the red arrow that has end in it. That's directly below the room on my map.
Yes.
That's where we did the fight, except it was oriented sideways instead of up and down.
Correct. Gotcha.
That's the very confusing thing about this maze is these various hallways change orientation.
All right, but I can spin my phone if I turn the screen rotation off, so I can track
Right.
that. That's not a big deal. So currently to our north was that. How many halls did we come through, Alex, before we got to the Griffin room? Or was it Griffin room door this corridor, or was it Griffin room hallway and then this room?
Griffin room?
Yeah, where we met the Griffin and
You mean Sphinx?
Sphinx, yes.
Okay, so the Sphinx was I don't have a good way to take a picture of this and send it to you because the phone I usually take pictures with is I have PD enough. I can take pictures and send it. I can hook it up to hang on, I have to connect my other phone to the internet so that I can send you a picture.
Gotcha.
And just for what it's worth, you guys have each left your own set of markers along the way that I'm getting sufficiently confused on my side. So it's a two-way street.
Come on, phone, think faster.
So all we did, Jim, is we only went through a couple of corridors, but we put arrows to which direction we went.
Okay.
So
we numbered them too.
And we numbered them, yeah. You know what sucks, Keith, is remember how last time where we were like, which door did you go through? Oh, you went through the left. I told you what was through the right. I can't remember which side was which.
And it doesn't matter because the rooms change orientation.
No, that's not. It does kind of matter. Let me point that out. So with that in mind, after you came out of the room there with the Sphinx, there was the small 10-foot clear section. You proceeded through that into the mist, came to a four-way intersection, and you turned left from there to get to another intersection that was actually your first 30-foot corridor. And you crossed through it the narrow way before coming to this room.
Something else we did too, Jim, is we used, because you lose orientation in the mist, we had some people stay out of the mist and hold onto the rope while the other people went through the mist to tell us how long the corridor was.
Okay.
So one of those corridors was only like 10 feet. I think it was the corridor, the first corridor we went to the right, I think was just 10 feet, and the left was longer, and we went back through the left and kept going, I think.
Yeah, the mist is like, it's like the Mirkwood and the Hobbit. Is it the Mirkwood?
Yep. Very similar, though the mental effects only occur inside the mist. You get a respite from that when you're outside the mists.
That's cool.
But unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to reorient yourselves in terms of which way was I facing? How long was I in there?
Right.
There, sent.
So that intersection with the 4, that's where you came in and you went straight across?
So that 4 is going to correlate to another 4. If you go back through hallway 4, it should connect to a different intersection that has a 4 on one side of that intersection.
Yep.
And going straight across the short ways, that was what led to
you, I think.
To me. Okay.
That led to the room where we camped for the night.
Okay.
I labeled it.
Yeah, she's got a note. She's got a map up too, Jim.
Yeah, that corridor where the 4 is where I stopped, and you guys came up and said, yeah, you recognize that explosion as a fireball.
Which way was the explosion?
Yeah.
So just to point out, both of these maps are based on the way that the other group came in, not the way Red Dress came in.
Right.
Correct.
So there's a couple options. Oh yeah, the door at the bottom. There was the door said knock first on it. They had a sign on it that says knock first. The Sphinx well, the Sphinx gives you an option to either fight it or answer a riddle. So we got to our riddle and decided we were going to say, if we survived the riddle, it let us ask one question. So we decided to save our question till we found you, so we could all discuss what question to ask it.
Okay.
But we would also have to get back to the Sphinx to be able to ask the question. My other thought was you weren't part of our original group, so it would kind of give you the option to get a second question if you went in by yourself, but you have to answer the riddle correctly, and that's
By
the
yourself.
risk. The riddle is not easy.
Yeah.
If you get the same riddle.
I suspect it will be a different riddle.
I would think it would be too, but who knows? It could be the same. And the Sphinx.
I will point out it is an intelligent creature.
Yeah. That was my next thing, is that the Sphinx might be somewhat all-knowing and might know that this is that he's from the same group and not allow him the same courtesy. But I don't know.
I mean, it wants to eat us, so it would give him the option to fail.
It did say he was hungry.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some dead things we can feed to it.
And it needs souls, though, I think. I don't think it actually eats the corporeal form.
I don't want to discourage this conversation, but I do want to ask one last time. Is there anything you want to do inside the game before I trigger the long rest?
No.
So continue the talk conversation. We can still, prep ourselves for quote unquote morning. But right now, I just want to make sure we've got all the mechanics in place that so that you can replenish as intended.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, you're kind of dulled, aren't you, Haig?
Kind of what?
You're a little.
I'm a little
having
stunted.
A hard time
That's
focusing.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got some drool coming out of your lip. No.
Yeah, who was it that took the intelligence hit last time? Was that
Haig?
It was Haig, yeah.
Yep.
Oof. Well, I guess better Haig than Varric, though, with the spells.
I was gonna say better you than me. That's for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, one thing that is definitely apparent, those suckers hit hard, considering that those weapons were apparently just extension. Yeah, and that's something at least one of you would have noticed, is that as they died, their clothes, their armor, their weapons all just morphed back into its original fleshy form when they died. So whatever it hit you with was actually a disguised portion of its own body. And you might as well have been thumped by an ankylosaurus for the way that you're feeling right now, Haig.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Actually, I would even dare to say that your head is probably still ringing at the moment, too.
Yeah, right.
You're like sitting there banging the side of your head with your palm like, come on, get out of there.
Little ongoing tinnitus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
We can talk about it more in the morning.
And actually, yeah, Haig, you started at 16, so you're effectively at 15 intelligence now, right?
No, we took it down from 17 last.
Oh, okay. So you had a 17 intelligence as a fighter. Damn.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've got. I'm an Eldritch Knight, so I've a little bit across
the
of both.
intelligence does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not bad. You didn't lose. Your overall score didn't dip.
No, the overall score dips
from 17 to 16
is this should be the +3 still.
Oh, so the bonus, yeah, I didn't lose
the
any
bonus shouldn't have changed.
Right. Yeah. So it's, you know what I mean. It's not.
Yeah, I didn't lose any
really
plus, right?
Yeah, unless you're trying to raise it with some ASI. You know what I mean.
Level 8. I was going to, yeah.
You could take a feat though. You could take a feat.
We'll have to see how it stands when we get to it.
Get that game breaking luck going for you.
Well, so I have a couple of different options when we hit. I think it's level 8. So my dex is at a 7 and my charisma is at a 5. So I was going to put 1 point into my intelligence, so that way I could get that up to the 18. Yep. And then I charisma I could have bumped up so I could only take a -2 instead of a -3 on my rolls.
Ooh.
My charisma takes a hard hit.
Yeah, man.
All right, last call for the long rest. Going once, going twice.
Send it.
And triggering. And with that,
I have more fireballs.
With that, I will share with you. You have an uneventful rest period.
Whoo!
So you do make it safely through the night without any interruptions, despite all the noise that Redrith caused. And I'll let you guys finish off your conversation while I take a quick constitutional.
Very good. So yeah, we have to merge maps here. And I mean, I could spend a solid half of this session just trying to
sort through the revolving rooms.
Yes, because if we have the rope situation, we can pretty much go back and forth through the doors with the rope and pull you back to our group without getting too lost.
Yeah, because remember when I was first setting out, there were points where it felt like the rope turned and it shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
So at least on your end of things, it felt like I'd gone around a corner, but you didn't see me move.
I only noticed one of them.
Yes.
I only noticed one of them, but it seemed strange.
Yep.
Yeah. And technically, she didn't share that information.
Okay, so I don't know that.
You don't know that.
You just told me.
Well, if you look on my map, you
Yeah,
might
I
have
think
noticed something funny, but I didn't actually say anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you see that one gym on Alex's map where it says 45 feet down, 10 feet over, 30 foot over. It gives lengths.
Mm-hmm.
And then so yeah, and then we went. There's the 4 and the 4. There's the 1-4 that you see. So the 30 by 30 room is the one we're in right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. So I think that's relatively accurately showing how you guys moved. Something along that. When you went to which door may be a little bit different, but
Yeah.
that's the rough orientation.
So we
And
try
so
to find that
coming,
knock first. Sorry.
isn't that what you said? I
Yes,
thought that's what.
that's-
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then if you can put the 4 in the middle of the hallway.
Yeah.
Never mind. I wish this was an active map where we could just do it real quick instead of continuing to make edits.
Yeah, I'll add those numbers.
It's a lot. It's just a lot of work for you guys, and I feel bad.
Well, I'm doing it in in Illustrator, so it's easy to copy paste.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you want to put like the distances too, I don't know if that's going to be relevant.
Could be.
It's interesting information, and Kaylee wants that information for her map that she's trying to make.
When we get out of here, we should sell your map to those people.
On the web, on the dark web.
Those desert people who worship Amun-Re would probably pay good money.
Those guys
for a map for the rest of the
outside,
kid.
Yeah,
they
that's
can't
a good
even
idea.
read the walls. You know what I mean? Like they'd be
Kinda
pretty
stupid.
excited. Yeah. We were like, look, this is probably where your people died. We didn't find him. But you know, they might have died in here because it's confusing as shit. So if you go in there, don't die.
That's actually a pretty good idea, Maddie. Yeah, we're done with the pyramid. Here you go. We laid it all out for you.
Yeah,
It'll be
10,000 gold and it's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever's going to get you.
20% of any plunder you pull from the pyramid is ours.
Yeah.
No, I think the plundering of the pyramid is what caused the issue in the first place.
Probably. So you've got a mess of this figured out already. Did you ever try to go through one door multiple times, Jim, to see if it sent you to the same
at the
spot?
bottom.
Okay.
Down at the bottom.
But the one with the dual arrows, so you figured out that no matter how many times you go through, it takes you to the same spot?
Yes. Well, the one where you can see the arrow going around and around. The bottom left one on the map.
Bottom left?
Bottom right.
Bottom right, you mean, right?
Oh,
Seems
sorry.
to rotate.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to type and talk, and that never works very well.
That's fine.
Okay, I have trouble remembering which side's my left and which side's my right without looking at my hands.
So why did you used a trail of platinum pieces, or you found a trail of platinum pieces?
No, there are platinum pieces on the floor in there. I picked one up and nothing happened, but I was more curious about doing other stuff. But we can go and pick. Definitely, we should collect those before we move on too far.
Just put an X where we picked them up, maybe.
Right.
You know, like where our ball lies on the golf course. Yeah.
Yeah, I was using. There are some of the
copper.
Yeah, some of the hallways have pieces of paper on the floor where I wrote which direction I had gone. I was trying, in case I was thinking you guys were right behind me at the time, and I was just pointing arrows saying I went this way, I went that way, I went that way.
Gotcha. Well, Alex has chalk, so
I applied for stepping through the flames, and nobody else wanted to do it. So
we didn't know what happened.
Chicken. Bark, 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 bark.
I almost
didn't
just
want to
did
get
it a few
stuck.
times.
All right, so
I can
In
show you something
hindsight, I'm
really
like,
cool
I
in
totally
that.
should have.
I can show you something really cool in that octagonal room, though. Who's wearing armor?
Well, I would assume
Hey,
all of
guy.
us at this point. Yeah.
I'm not. I've got studded
Oh,
leather.
you're talking
but-
about
Yeah.
the
Like metal.
the levers. Yeah, you already told us.
Yes.
You are not sticking me to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Here, I
so
want to show
It
you
would be so
something.
much fun.
Exactly.
let's clarify one technicality, not to distract from the story on this, but as you're looking at this map right now, the rest of the group came in from the left, Redrith came in from the right. But if you'll see Redrith's map, when he came into this room, he came in from what he thought was the door on the bottom. So
Right.
proceeding on from this point, I can switch over to Redrith's orientation because he has a larger portion of his map done that way, if you want me to, or we can.
There's a
stick
new
with
map.
this one.
There's a new one that he just added that has ours and his put together, and you can
So do
let
you
us know if we're on the right idea.
want me to switch to that orientation so you're less confused?
I think yeah, because like I said, I can switch on my phone. I'm just going to turn it sideways and check that or follow along with it that way.
Party, you want me to stick with this map or do you want me to switch to the other orientation?
I don't think it matters too much because once we move out, we're not going to stay in this room forever. So
Okay.
every room changes
don't know.
orientation, so I don't know that it matters.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know which will be easier for me to map with. I'm not sure it matters.
Well, like all decisions in game, they do have long-term impacts and you can't go back. So this is going to be one of those decisions.
Yeah.
Speak now.
Um,
We will stick with the current orientation.
Oh, are you able to switch the tile to shift to match, Keith? Is that what you're asking?
Kind of, sort of.
But just remember that some of these, and it may be true for all of these hallways, that's the part I did not have enough time to test. When like as is true with that one in the lower right, when you go out one entrance and you come back in, the entire thing has turned. So I don't know that it's going to matter that much. I kept my map in the same orientation rather than changing everything, but the door leading to the next place is always the same. It's consistent. So
we were able to get back to this room though just by passing through the hallway.
Correct.
So I don't know. We could also try going left out of this room and seeing if we can get back to the Sphinx room and see what that does. You know,
True.
it's
Down
only
for
a
whatever.
couple. Let's see if I go back to Alex's notes. Going left would be.
I like your idea of numbering the exits. Should we just number these exits in this room?
We could. And then if it sends us back, like if 4 doesn't send us to 4 in that room, then we know something has changed. And we can also leave the doors open and tie rope. We've got 100 foot of rope. Send one person and see what happens and be able to pull them back to our area. You know, that's kind of a safety catch in its own.
My first question, so I can be ready, however you guys decide to go through, is which door are you going to go through?
I vote going left to see if it stays the same, just so we know if there's any sort of change if we
Agreed.
try to backtrack.
okay.
How should we number the exits in this room so we're consistent?
There's so
I think
many.
let's start with the one you guys came in. Call that number 1. Does that work?
Thing is that we already called them 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the
Okay.
area behind us. So
Then
do we alternate and say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this next room we do A, B, C, D, and then we go the next room and go back to 5, 6, 7, 8?
Well, just remember the corridor we were in immediately before this, we labeled the direction we came through as 4.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 4 would coincide if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. 4 would coincide with A, etc. as we went backwards. I'm fine with that. I think that works. I'm sure Keith loves having more things on the screen.
Fortunately,
However
I
you
did
do
leave
it.
myself a means of tracking this.
I was thinking.
Needless to
that
say,
we
I
go-
have a different map, and I've just been throwing tokens.
I
on
say just keep climbing, having the numbers keep climbing.
Okay.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
would
that's
be
what I
5,
was
6,
gonna
7,
say.
8.
I was gonna suggest that we go back to the corridor that we were in, where we have one of the exits labeled as 4, and just label those 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's do
and
it.
go from there.
But if the rooms spin, this will be the problem. If we go through once and at 4 matches 4, and we have the person come back, and then we have them go back again, and the room is spun, and now 4 matches 5, that's
It
when
won't.
we're going to have an issue.
It won't. Where it goes is always the same, no matter what the orientation is.
Okay, so that's what my question. I was being thrown off by you say the rooms spin.
I was
Now, if
waiting
they
for you to
screw-
make that clarification, Jim. That's the key.
Yes,
I
that's the
don't
key.
think it's the.
Then yes, we
I
can
don't
just
think
keep
it's the
numbering.
rooms. I don't think it's that the rooms spin. I think it's that space is warped, and sometimes the corridors double back on themselves.
Right. Then yeah, let's just keep numbering.
Let's do it.
Do it.
While they're all doing this, I just lift my head up from my lap and just look at them, yawn, and then go meow, and then put my head back down.
Redress says, has he changed from a cat? Because he can change from a cat.
Yes.
You've all seen him change, right? Okay. All right.
He was a
very good.
spider for a little while.
Yeah, he was a very beneficial spider. He's earned himself a
Okay.
kitty break.
All right.
All right, so what are we labeling the left door on the current map?
I think these would be
Right.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
so if we went to the one back, left hall would be 4, and then if we went clockwise, it would be 5, 6, and 7, correct?
No, we were
Wait.
going counterclockwise.
Okay.
Just because.
Because that's how we did it in the first room, so we should just be consistent.
Right. We have
Well,
2
that's also where I
intersections.
got confused and sent you left instead of right. So
Right.
don't necessarily think clockwise and counterclockwise is going to stay consistent because of that. Or at least remember that area might not be.
So in the orientation of you want to stay, so 4, if
'Cause
you were
originally
standing
guys
at the
had gone
number,
clockwise, but I thought counterclockwise, but I thought you had gone clockwise, and that's why I had gotten confused.
okay. So
Or
we'll
vice
keep it
versa.
counterclockwise since that's what you've already done.
It's
Right,
up to
so
you
if-
which way you want to go from here.
So from the map that is conjoined in Kaeli's first map, we've got Sphinx Room, and that was Sphinx Room would have been 1, Plain Door would have been 2, Knock First would have been 3, and the corridor we went through would have been 4, correct?
Correct.
So in the next corridor to the right, South Door would be 5, East Door would be 6, and North Door would be 7, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Yep, I'm tracking. Makes sense to me.
And Kayla wants to go back and label that intersection and test it.
Me too. Yep, I do too. Matt, you said you did too, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to travel west as we're oriented currently?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet.
Okay, but again, to clarify, what are you labeling this door in this room?
So this would be, so that would be 5, 6, 7.
It's 6.
So this door on the west would be 6. The south would be 8.
Why don't we not
No,
mark them until we go through?
No. It would not. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yep. You're right. South would be H.
East would be 9, and the north would be 10.
Where did 7 go?
North
in
of
the other hallway.
corridor to the left.
Okay, so then 8 is on the bottom here. Mine is out that way. And 10 is up that way. Okay. So you're going back out number 6, correct?
Correct.
Standard marching order is listed in the party sheet.
Sure.
Probably. I have to find it. I buried the party sheet.
Well, that would be you, Kayla first, then Ms., then Varick, then Haig, and Redrith at the back end.
To get back to the intersection, probably, but what we were planning on ultimately doing was sending people out on ropes.
Right. Just to double check that it matches. And then, so half the group out with a rope, calling out the thumbs up, the rest of the group following. And I'll probably hang this this time because I have a massive headache from yesterday's smash.
And just to be clear, you're using chalk from Kaolali to mark the entrances and exits, right?
Correct.
Yep.
On the floor or on the wall, or exactly where relative to the doors and archways are you placing them?
I was just doing it on the wall next to him.
Okay.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Okay. Just making
I
sure.
guess we could do the door themselves. I don't know.
These are archways, not doors.
Well, you got doors in here, but yeah, most of what you've come across so far have been archways.
Gotcha.
In
Right.
slightly different configurations. Basically, you've come
Yeah, I would.
30-foot corridor that has 4 exits, 2 across narrow and 2 across the long way. Like you see over in this other map on the left side. And then you come across the 4-way intersection, which is just a 10-foot clear area. There is no map for that yet. Because basically you won't all fit in there comfortably. And then Redrith has come across a 3-way intersection.
He has. Oh, yep. Where it says piles of dead.
Yep.
I see that.
Lots of dead there.
All right, so Kaylee's, I'm presuming we're setting up the rope trick again?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Going back to that intersection and setting up the rope trick.
So you come on through, and as you do so, you see that your 4 is still in place on the archway opposite from where you come in.
And the arrow that I scribbled on the wall is still on the archway I just came out of?
Yep.
Okay.
Pointing back to the room, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So now we can put above that arrow, we can put 5, 6. I'm going to use my nifty S pen to write on the map. You can too, Maddie.
I have
If you're
terrible
making note.
handwriting with pen and paper. It's so much worse with the S Pen. Like, my phone can't even figure out what I wrote most of the time. So
I know the feeling.
I use the drag and drop feature or like the motions with it to like change music, but that's about it. Or as a fidget thing, you know, sit there and click the end of it. I get yelled at for doing that.
But it's so fidgety to do it that way.
It is.
So nice.
It works. And then you're not shaking the whole room, you know, twitching your leg.
Exactly. Speaking of fidgets, now I have to go pick one up so I can do something with my hands.
Okay, so the 4 is still on the wall,
Mhm.
which means we could probably still go back to the Sphinx room if we really wanted to.
Or the knock first room. I'm
Or the
interested
knock
in that
first
room.
room.
Redrith didn't see the knock first room or door.
No, he never got this far. He didn't get this far.
Yeah, I say we check that door out.
Were in the way and they started attacking him.
I wanted to knock on that door, and I will knock on the door. You know, being one of the more robust members of our party.
Well, before
yeah, no,
I would like to see if we can.
Kale is more interested in mapping out the place before we go knocking on doors.
Agreed.
She just wants to know where all the corridors go.
I want to see if we can tie in. I want to see if we can tie in the rest of Jim's map to our map. Like if 7 leads up to one more corridor, and then whatever's north of 7 curves into the piles of dead. I'm curious if that's the case. But
I was surprised that you can see the big, huge arcing connection around between. They don't necessarily go where you think they're going to go. So
right. But we should also run into your paper if we have any weird arcs or sends too. So that should be kind of cool if that happens.
The tokens are not behaving.
They're not keeping their sizes, that's for sure.
That's weird.
Whoa. I got huge.
Are we on the other page? Are we on the other map yet now?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, there we go. No, my map was still in the other room. What happened?
I moved over to the other map, that's all.
Whoa, no, my wife's laptop is doing something very funny.
Well, it's not supposed to do that. Tell it it's not allowed.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny.
It has to behave itself.
All right.
Okay, so where to from here?
We're gonna do 5 or 7, guys.
I don't care. I got my rope out, and I'm just like wondering who's gonna go, in which direction you want.
Last time we sent
but
Derek.
I got the ropes ready.
Yeah, I'm fine to go. I'm cool with that.
So 5 is on the bottom, 7 is on top.
Correct.
Just tell me which way you guys want me to go. Which way am I going?
Oh, pick a side.
I'll point.
Do it.
I'll point to 5.
Okay.
That I start heading that way.
Yeah, and I handed you the end of the rope too. So.
Yep.
Are you tying that around yourself?
Sure. I was just gonna hold on to it, but yeah, I'll tie it on me. I'll tie it around my wrist just to not use up too much slack, you know.
There you go.
Got a pretty big waist.
You little girthy, are you?
Yeah. We gotta at least be losing 2-3 feet worth of rope
Oh,
to
for
wrap
sure.
that thing around me and tie it off. You know, I'd say closer to 4 feet. So
Tie it to your belt loop.
Yeah,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Just tie it to your belt.
Yep.
Then it's not interfering as much with your weapon
Yeah, just the back of my
swinging and stuff.
I dig it.
But it's still secured.
So yeah, I start heading towards 5.
All right. So which way are we heading?
Towards 5.
Towards 5. Okay. So once again, I'll remind you of the description of the mists. Swirling rust orange color, dry and warm, smell vaguely sulfurous. Entering them seems to present no problem except that they obscure everything. Even bright lights become a diffuse haze, and it is literally impossible to see one's hand 6 inches in front of one's face or eyes. And I already described that it does have a mental effect. You feel slightly lightheaded, sulfurous smell. You get used to, it disappears, but your mind wanders. You have a difficult time counting paces as you walk, and you lose count frequently. All distance sense is gone with your sight, though your sense of touch seems strangely unimpaired. So most of you have been feeling your way along the walls by, whichever side you're on, holding up your hands against the walls.
If, as I walked into the mist, he started singing a song, would that ability be impaired? Like he wouldn't be able to keep tempo or anything like that?
Okay, that's an interesting thought, actually. Let's see. How
I've been
would
thinking
I
about that for a
handle
few
it?
minutes.
I know how to handle it in my head. I'm trying to think of how you would proceed with that. So let's see.
It'd be like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Hue, the Hungarian like metal band, but like real throaty, like, you know.
And shanties were frequently used to keep work timing and stuff. So there's definitely a
Right.
very good foundation to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check inside the tower.
Hey, Dan, you want to hook me up?
Sure. Our bonuses are the same, right, for perception?
I believe so. I'm not 100%.
At a +4. What's yours? Do you know what yours is?
Not offhand, no.
Why don't you release the ownership of the character so he can grab it?
I got to step away for a minute, but I can still hear you guys.
Okay.
Or that works too.
That'll do.
One thing I should probably point out. Let's see. Because of all the commotion before, you did not notice something that actually did distinguish this particular corridor.
Okay.
Let's see. Kaelili, Haig, and Varric, all 3 of you notice that there's actually a silver ring in the lying on the floor in the very center of the corridor.
No, I thought we had the ring.
Somebody already picked that up?
Yeah, I had it. I was waiting to find Redress so we could, because I found it with detect magic.
Got you. Okay, so my apologies. That was my confusion.
No worries.
I had actually asked someone about it, but then I realized that I had gotten rooms mixed up. So, all right, who has that at the moment?
I do, Vark.
Okay. Let me double check and make sure it's in inventory.
I didn't add it to my inventory.
Not sure you got an item for it.
Right. Yeah, that was I meant to have Redrith identify that at a long rest.
I was gonna say,
forgot all about it.
I forgot about it too. That would have been something that we could have done before we did our long rest.
It'll keep.
He might not have had the spells.
True.
Oh, he could have ritual.
I do have identify. It's a ritual.
Yep. Yeah.
So it won't use a slot.
Okay, so yeah, if you wanted to have cast that identified during the long rest, I will allow that to occur.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so let's see. I need to double check something real quickly. Okay, and let's see. And Jim, you're the one casting that, right? Redrith? Oh, he left. Who was it? Him that's casting it, or was it?
Yeah, Redrith.
Okay.
Redrith is.
Yeah, I can cast it as a ritual. Sorry, I realized I hadn't eaten anything yet today, so I was going to make myself a sandwich while I listen. So.
Oh, tisk. All right. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check in the tower.
Okay. Intelligence check.
Okay. You determine that the ring is indeed magical. It is affected by a transmutation dwarmer. Specifically, it appears to be a ring of fly.
Ooh. I'll give you the ring for something, wizard.
And as an additional note, I have a feeling this might shock more than one person here. It does not require attunement.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Fucking
Exactly who I thought would be shocked.
Redder thinks personally that our scout should probably be the one to carry that, being the person who's out in front and may run into something crazy before the rest of us. Might make the most sense. Heck, I can make the guys in armor fly if we just go back to the octagonal room.
And you hired Haig and Vark, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay. I'll listen to you. I won't make you trade. You hired me.
I don't. Well, and pretty much anything I have that would be useful is pretty much for the group anyways, so.
Right. No, I was just,
Yeah.
All right, so who is that going to?
I'll give it to Kelly.
I think that makes most sense.
Okay.
And she can see in the dark.
Since Mizram can turn into a bird, I think, if he wants to.
Do you have to be a caster to use it? Would be the only other question.
I'm listening, but I'll be right back.
As far as I can tell, no. You put it on and the user will be able to fly.
Nice. Yeah.
I guess, to find out how long it lasts, if it has charges, or how fast and maneuverable it makes you fly would all be something you'd have to experiment with.
Right.
This whole time you guys couldn't hear me at all.
Nope. Probably not.
I said to you, Matt, I said, I don't know, man, if you were taking away your trading stipulation. I know the tracker has a pretty nifty rope.
I don't need it. And the boss said to do that. He hired us, so I,
All right, fair
naturally
enough.
listened to Redrith. If he was like, well, this is what I think. All right, fine. If he wanted it, he would have had to give me something. I don't care if it was some of his like bat guano. Might have taken it.
Well, he's already got, doesn't he have Odysseus's owl or something?
Mm-hmm.
Redrith does, and then Miz is going to be able to fly if he can't already. My lumbering ass is quite interested in keeping my feet on the ground, so.
Same. Stone walker, not stone
That's
flyer.
right. This is true. All right, so we going through 5 then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was singing about singing the song as I walked through the mist, and I did that perception check.
Miss says I can't fly till late level. Laugh out loud, meow. So what's going to be your song of choice? Is it going to be, and I would walk 500 miles and I...
No, it certainly wouldn't sound like that.
Oh, it'd be,
no.
and I would walk 500 miles. Ooh, pretty.
Here, I
Very
just shared
pretty.
it's the hue. That's at least it doesn't, and it would be in giant, but it would sound like those dudes, like deep throat singing.
You're going to have to do it. I can't.
You can play the video.
I can't picture what you're
jump
saying.
like 2 minutes into it. I can't do it.
You're talking about like the Nepalese guys where they're like thing.
Kind of, yeah. The video I sent to the Discord, they have like, you know what I mean? It's got like that tribal sound to it and everything, like, yeah. But they're half giants, so you know what I mean? So it would kind of, to the elves, it sounds like shit.
To me, I got a smile on my face.
You're like, fuck yeah.
I'm doing the Carlton to it.
Right, yeah. Stomping your foot.
A half giant doing the Goliath doing the Carlton. That's something to see.
I'm looking forward to seeing flying kitties.
Yeah.
That's even better than pigs on a wing. When pigs fly, no, but we got a cat that does.
That's right.
I mean, if he
as we turn to Miz and
he'll have
ask him if
access
can he turn into swine? Who knows?
Eventually, he'll be able to polymorph into if he gets access to that spell, into a androsphinx. A cat with wings. That would work.
All right, let's travel through 5. What do you say?
5. Let's do it.
Okay,
do it.
I'm checking my map. Rigged up to the rope. Who's going through first? Kaoli?
No, I believe Varric.
Kaoli's staying put. She's observing for changes in the rope.
And Varric singing his weird giant song.
Okay.
Dang it, why did I do that to myself? Just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles. Totally stuck in my head now.
Stop it.
But da la da da la da.
I won't do it. I sent that video to the wrong chat. My bad. Sorry.
All right, so let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, Kaylee, you are noticing that about 30 feet of rope goes out before it seems to start shifting to the left. And then about another 20. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. 5, 10, 15, 20.
So she's facing the 5 and it's shifting left. So it would be to the right as we're facing it, but to her left.
Mhm.
Man, that was confusing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at the map,
This is
and
the
7
part.
is
This is the part where the person who lost all his intelligence needs to not talk.
all right.
Just
So if
kidding.
7,
Just
so if 7 is north, as we're looking at it on our map, it's Kayali's left. So it's our real life IRL people looking at the maps right.
except for the fact that he went out 5.
So
I know if 7 is north,
Yeah, he's saying that the player right,
So her
character
left
left.
is this way. If she's facing south, looking at him, or facing down,
Her left.
looking at Varric, her left is this way.
Yeah.
As I'm
Okay.
circling on the shared screen.
circling on the shared screen. Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Okay.
And you said that started after about 30 feet?
about 20, 25 feet, and then about another 20 feet before his momentum or movement stops.
Can they still hear me singing?
Yeah, sound doesn't seem to be impaired too much, thankfully.
Cool.
I was going to say, because we were able to call to each other through the corridors.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we didn't discuss what to do at the end of the rope.
What do you see,
Or
Eric?
when I,
Label the archway and tell us what you see.
if I don't have any light, I can't really see anything.
It's not hindered by light though in here, is it?
Are there torches lit on the walls? Because otherwise, I'm just walking into the dark with my hand on the wall singing.
He's going to need a torch, otherwise it's pretty dark in here.
Actually, so come back and Redrith, can he borrow the sun sword?
Or I can just go in there since I don't need light to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the elves can take the rope.
Let's try this again.
I'm gonna keep singing now.
All right, so who's going?
I'm gonna keep singing though.
Redrith.
Redrith is taking point. Okay. Woohoo.
Yeah.
With all the searching he did in the past, he is probably a pro at this by now.
I think I'm gonna stay with Redrith. I'm gonna put my left hand on his right shoulder and follow him.
Okay,
Stay with him.
Stick with him.
Yep.
If you're coming with, I'll light up the sword.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was gonna put my hand on you, just let you guide me on, But yeah, that works too.
seem to have an excess of growth potions. Everyone's growing too big. Okay, so let's see. We'll start with. Come on. Okay, do both of you see?
I see us and a little tiny bit of corridor.
Okay. And Matt, you got the same image, right?
I would only see if it was on your shared screen,
No, I
unfortunately.
don't have it on the shared screen at the moment because only you two see it.
Yep. Yep.
But I will light up the sun sword if he's with me, so that will light up. What is it? 40 feet of dim light.
I actually.
Oh, that's true because you moved Dan onto the thing instead of.
No, it's right. He's got the right. That's Varric.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, Dan has
Dan
the
has
ability
control
to
of it.
see
Okay.
because, yeah.
That's what you see.
Looks like bags of something.
We found bags.
Are they douche bags?
6 small leather sacks lie in the center of the corridor. I'm glad they
I don't
look
think
like
we should
bags.
touch them.
Perfect.
I don't think we should touch them.
You picked the ring up.
It's true. You want me to go look at them?
That was quick to change your mind. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, in that
Logic
case, let's go
prevails.
grab 'em.
Well, I have to remember that I can take a bit of damage. So, like, barring getting blasted with a disintegrate spell, I should be okay.
Okay, so do we have a piece of chalk, by the way?
Yes,
and
I
you're
have
going-
one.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So you should mark that 5
Mhm.
on the wall
Yeah.
of that corridor. So we are in another do.
Can I just go like prod one of the sacks with my foot? I'll hand Redrith the chalk.
You can certainly try.
I don't think I should fuck with him. I don't know.
You get a bad feeling from
about this.
yeah.
Last time I said, "Hey, let's just do that," the wizard disappeared. So
Anything above your head?
That's a good point.
Trying to drag these windows around, and instead it's just changing the size of it. No. This one.
So Redrith, knowing that we used
You're holding down a button.
It looks like it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it thinks you're holding down a button. Is there a key stuck on your keyboard?
That's a good question. There shouldn't be.
Well, shouldn't and is are two different things.
I'm able to drag that one around, no problem. Touch on that. So let's see. And somehow.
Yeah, somehow you got a key stuck.
I don't think it's a key stuck. I think it's actually the game itself thinks there's a key stuck because none of my other windows are doing it. All of them inside Fantasy Grounds are, though.
Gremlins.
There we go. That was very strange. Okay, so this is up here. And this is down here. All right, and what number are we putting on this one?
Okay, I've already figured this out.
5 where
So
we're standing.
5 is where we came in. So on this map coming down from the top is number 5. And if we turn left, oh, sorry, I'll do it in counterclockwise. So I'll move Redreth over. Where Redreth is right now, that will be 11 because we used 8, 9, and 10 in the Bad Elves chamber back there.
Yep.
So that will be 11. Then 12 will be down straight ahead from where we came in. Oh, and the other thing, Varric, is that I did discover a little cart or a sledge with some boxes on it, and when I opened the top one, it was trapped. So something else to keep in mind with these things we're finding on the floors. And then this one will be 13.
Yeah, that's why I changed my mind and walking towards them. We need to check the room for traps. And my big ass ain't equipped to do that. I'm just here in case there's any more bad elves.
Exactly.
Toad people.
So we'll kind of yell back to you, to the rest of you in the other corridor. Do we keep going? Should we turn? What would you prefer? What's your method of exploration? I know I personally would just make a turn and see if I come back into the same place, since that's happened before. But
Do it. I'll stand here with the rope.
Give
Or
him
do
another
we
piece
not
of
wanna-
work. Oh, how far was that corridor?
50
You said
feet.
25?
it was 50 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna call out to you guys to hang on a moment so that I have time to tie the ropes together,
Okay.
and then you guys can continue. Just tell me which way you're going. No, actually, I'm gonna ask you guys to come back. I'm gonna ask you guys to come back.
Redreth,
Okay.
having explored a whole bunch of these, rolls his eyes but comes back.
Well, before you go on, what did you try to do about the bags on the floor?
Nothing.
We are leaving them for now.
Okay.
I feel terrible about it.
All right, so you all head to where Kaylee, Haig, and Mizram are?
Yes.
Okay.
Keith, you were on your constitutional, but Matt made a really good point. He says after we figure all this out and we have it all laid out and drawn up on our way out of the pyramid, we stop at the dervishes and say, "Yep, we're all done here. We got it all laid out for you. Here's a map. 10,000 gold pieces will about do it." And we sell them the map we make.
Well, depending on how much they have to barter with, no, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, so we spent a good amount of time in here already, doubling back and investigating. All right, so I'm going to suggest that we take a 10-minute break and we meet back here at 1:45.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. My turn for sandwiches.
And then which way are we going to go from here?
You sounded like you had a plan.
Kaoli had a plan. Alex has forgotten what her plan was, though.
Smooth.
Alex, you might want to have that multiple personality disorder checked.
Well, it sounds like you got 10 minutes to figure it out anyway.
Yep. All right, I'm just trying to be ready for you, so I'm going to guess where you're going to go, but if you confound me, you might have to give me a little more time. But I'll see you back here.
That's okay.
1:45, 10:02.
I'm going to go find food because I have not eaten food yet today.
Yeah, I gotta make some lunch.
That's why I had to go make a sandwich.
I'm not allowed to eat in my bedroom.
Where's my charger?
I'll be right back, guys.
I don't think we need to use the rope. I mean, the rope is fine, but these things twist and turn so much that I'm of the opinion that we should figure out what goes where, and if distances become important, we can go back. We're mapping them out, but so slow. Okay.
I'm going to give myself honey and lemon tea, so I'll be right back.
Okay, I am back.
Redreth is back too.
I got it ready to check up. We'll wait for everyone to click off on it.
I'm back too. Vark.
I'm back.
Okay, so got 3 more checkbox we're waiting for. So everyone who's back, make sure you check them off.
I apologize. One of those ticks was me. I keep forgetting that sometimes we need to tick a box.
You weren't the only one, so no apologies necessary.
No, I can check mine.
Not like we were stuck waiting for you.
See, I easily get distracted. So you give me that 2-minute break, go get food, water, and I'm like.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey. I think we're just waiting for one more. Who would that be? Matt or Dan? Or Jim?
Jim is
Are
here.
you sure it's not?
Check mine, so.
It's not the streamer, I know that.
Okay.
Yep, I've been hitting that one first when I come back.
Okay. It works.
All right, so Jim, you're here.
Yep.
And Matt.
Yep.
And Dan.
1 second.
Okay. All right, so which way next?
7.
Barrick leading the way again.
With Miz
Derek
right
and
behind,
Redreth.
or with Redreth right behind.
Oh, that's right, since it is the Sun Sword.
Yep.
Okay, so Redreth and Varric head into the mist, adjacent to the area you've labeled as number 7. And he proceeds about 20 feet before this time the rope turns to your right. And then the rope goes for about another 50 feet.
You said 20 feet and then 50 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Give me a moment.
Now you said he went up 7. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So in this case, the miss part to reveal a 10-foot square section of clear corridor. Miss fill the archway to the rear, and a heavy door bars passage ahead.
Okay. I will chalk a 7 on the wall next to the door. I would assume we will note the door and then head back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's a, yeah.
Good Lord. I'm preserving the grid scaling between the maps, and I don't know why. Probably has something to do with the way I've provisioned the maps, but I'll have to figure that out later. All right, so where to now, gang?
I vote 11 or 8.
Let's do it.
Which one are we doing?
Kelly
11 or 8, he said.
I'm just voting 11 or 8.
I would like to check the distance on 6.
And 6 happens to be on our way to 8, so
That does work consistently. All right, so we're heading all back through here. All right. Kelly's staying on the outside actually, so she can watch and measure the rope. Varric and Redreth are going back this way into the 4-way room, and the rope only goes 10 feet before they stop and signal back to you.
Okay.
And then you're going to turn right to go out the number 8 door. Is that correct?
does that sound good, everybody?
Yeah.
Sure.
Meow, he says. Meow.
All right, so you open this door adjacent to number 8, as you've come to expect.
I would join them before they before they open the next door.
Gotcha. So you all are now back in the room with the grieving elves, or the former elves. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to drag each of you over quite yet until I have a new map to put you on. So you come back into the room where you camped. You turn right. You open the door. And beyond the door, you find a 10-foot square section, a clear corridor with the mist filling the archway at one end, and the heavy blank door that you just opened on at the other. However, in this section, a hammer lies by the door.
Like a great hammer, or a war hammer, or a carpenter's hammer.
And that door is not the door we just came out of. It's another short passage with another door.
I think it's the door we just came out of.
You went, all right, so back on the map where everyone is at. All right, this one over here. You came out here into the room, which the map is not showing properly at the moment. You came out of the room, and then you turned right to go out this door to what you believe is the south. Correct?
Right.
Correct.
Door
Correct.
number 8.
Right, so this is number 8 over here. And then the hammer is lying just on the floor right there.
Okay.
And it appears to be a light war hammer and probably better than good condition.
Thank you.
What do you want to make for them for dinner?
I'll pick that fucker up.
Who is that? Haig?
Varric.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm not very good at distinguishing the voices through Zoom, in case you couldn't tell. Let's see. Varric.
Is there?
It's been added to your inventory.
Cool.
Not quite sure where, but there we go. Yep. It's in there as a refined light hammer.
Nice. Is it two-handed or single?
Light
With the
light
light.
hammer, single.
Yep. Okay.
Did I get the ring dropped in my inventory?
Let me double check.
Sorry, guys. I missed that last little stretch. My wife came in to talk to me. What did I miss? I know you said it was a light war hammer in fairly decent shape. Did anybody inspect or anything?
I just picked it up. Nothing happened. Yep.
Any magics? Is it glowing? Does it make you feel invincible?
I didn't want to burn a spell slot and detect magic, so
We'll have the wizard identify it later.
That was my thought.
So are we continuing down the corridor?
Or going through that door. I'm gonna kick it
I'm
open.
hoping.
I believe so. Give me a second. Trying to find the item to put into Kaylee's inventory.
Didn't we establish that there wasn't a second door? It was just the door behind us?
Yes, we did.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, this is taking me a moment, guys.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, and the rest of you probably noticed I do not have my owl with me. But I do have a little tiny spider riding on my shoulder.
Really?
Absolutely. See, you guys are using ropes and stuff. For me, I would simply stay where I am, send the spider through to the next room, and then just duck into his vision and duck back again and see if anything was there. That was how I was scouting ahead. Well,
That's cool.
separate. It worked pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Work.
So like
Doesn't it?
like
Okay, Alex, it
like
should be in
tarantula
Kaylee's
size
inventory.
or
Ah,
I
Or
can
like
I
show
now
you
have
the.
a
spider.
single ring in my inventory.
It says it's small, so it's a very small creature. So
Right.
it could be. Yeah, it's
Red spider's pretty big. Or still pretty small. But it's a larger spider, but still, you know, about the size of your fist.
All right, so are we continuing down that path?
this was my icon for my spider in the Discord. If we ever get that added, so I can control it separately, but it never came to that yet.
Yeah, those were some pretty cool tokens, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so hammer picked up. What are we doing?
Continue straight forward.
Straightforward.
Losing connection, apparently. I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yep, we
I
can hear
appear to
you.
have dropped out of Zoom. I appear to have dropped out of Zoom and Fantasy Grounds.
Really, we can hear you fine.
That's because I dialed in with my phone.
Okay.
Fantasy Grounds, whose connection lost, reconnect attempt 3 has failed.
I don't see anything on my side says that you're disconnected. So
Well,
that's bizarre.
I'm not connected on Zoom either.
Oh, no, but you're hearing me, so you have to be connected on Zoom. Or did you also have your desktop connection to Zoom?
No, I connected through my computer, but for voice, I dialed in on my phone.
Oh, okay. I thought I only saw you with one connection in Zoom, but maybe I was wrong.
It's only one connection in Zoom. that is correct.
Okay. Man, we've got to get you better internet, Alex.
Yeah, I just don't know how. Attempting to rejoin Fantasy Grounds.
I think you should start a GoFundMe account and tell everyone that you game with. I will happily contribute to it.
It does not want to connect.
And I'm still not seeing anything on my side that says that. Let me try whispering you, see what happens. It says it sent you a whisper.
My computer thinks it has no internet connection. My phone thinks it does. Discord's not connected. Fantasy Grounds won't connect. Browser thinks I'm not connected.
So yeah, it seems like you've gone completely offline, unfortunately. Thank goodness for the phone. Something why I really like using Zoom, it gives us more than one option to connect.
Exactly. Come on, computer, behave yourself. I just turned off my hotspot and turned it back on. And my computer's frozen. Half frozen. That's annoying. Completely shutting down that. Do not do this to me, computer. Behave. Have to go crash that program. Now let's see if I can just pull that up first. Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, that map, now that the map cleared up. So the hammer was right outside that door by number 8, right?
Correct.
Okay. So while Alex is troubleshooting her computer, we will just head down the passage number 8.
I can't take notes.
Your computer requires internet to take notes?
Since I'm taking
she
notes
adds to the campaign
for
notes.
Fantasy
Yeah.
Grounds, yes.
Oh. Yeah, I don't use the campaign. I don't use the notes in Fantasy Grounds because then I have to be in Fantasy Grounds to read them.
So Kaylee is over here. Liz and Fig are over here. wish I wouldn't keep adjusting the sizes. I'm wasting a lot of time having to make sure I can see who's who. All right, so the two of them have gone out through number 8, have gone through the mist. You pass through the mist about, 10 whole feet before I come out into
Can you kick me?
Pardon?
Can you kick me out of Fantasy Grounds, please?
I can do that. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
And you've been kicked.
Thank you.
So Redrith and Varric come out in a familiar looking corridor, except not from the same angle.
See, this is why orientation doesn't matter.
It does and it doesn't.
Ooh, this is the. Ooh, I like they.
Told you, don't pay any attention to the way it's oriented. It makes no difference.
Sure it does. We're getting a map. I like this. I like this.
Like internet to work.
So 8 turned into 13. Is
Interesting.
that correct?
Why would that happen?
Because magic?
Because it bent around. Was there any bend in the rope? Was there any pull of the rope? Nice. Hey, somebody
There we
joined.
Well, it's Alex's second connection, so obviously her internet is back up.
Nice.
Yep. Good thing I remembered to copy my notes to somewhere else before it crashed completely.
Good call. So I'm presuming the two of you are shouting back more bags, or we found the bags again, or something along those lines.
Yep, back at the leather sacks.
And so now what?
Here.
Redrith, while they call back, he sends his spider head on ahead through number 11. Just straight ahead through number 11. And then does the ducking into the vision. It's as long as it's within 100 feet, I can duck into its vision for a second and then back out again. So I just want to see where it goes.
Ooh, boy. Okay, so Redrith is in the corridor that is currently up on the shared screen, standing right by the bags. He sends the spot, and this is the area where you've marked the, when you came in through 5 earlier, you marked all of this, the pattern or the archways. So
Yeah.
your chalk markings are visible, and you can tell this is the same area, just things look a little confusing in terms of, wait a minute, shouldn't have that been over here, et cetera, et cetera. So you send the spider ahead into number 11. The spider travels about 10 feet before the rope goes, oh, there is no rope on him.
There is no rope.
There is no rope on him. So
he's a spider.
So
he's a spider.
The spider disappears into the mist as you watch him. Redrith keeps an eye on him, trying to get an idea of where he's going and whatnot. So Redreth is looking through the spider's vision as Haig notices the spider come back out from the same side. So he goes in and he comes back out. But as far as Redreth is concerned, looking through his eyes, he never turned, he never changed direction at all. He just went in and came back on through in a completely reverse direction.
In 11. Really?
Interesting.
So you're saying Varric noticed it come back out, not Haig, right?
Right.
Well,
I
as
was
Haig,
picking up
sorry, Varric. Yeah, Varric is in there with you. I'm sorry, I keep mixing up the two brothers. I'm getting really bad with that. And it doesn't help that one of them's not connected at the moment.
Okay, very good.
So
I basically see myself.
what? Right, and then as you're watching, through the spider's eyes, you see him come back out, looking at yourself.
That's
How
kind of
confusing.
So that's possibly there's possibly a way to break that cycle.
Do you report back to Kaylee that you've done this?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. We'll shout that back, but that's fine.
Spider's gone loopy.
You just say sent my spider through 11 and it came right back out 11.
Just remember, if you bang on it to try and get to work properly, you may break it.
Interestingly enough, that corridor would be adjacent to the room that has the knock first door on it.
And you said it went in just 10 feet, right?
About it, you can't tell for sure because you don't have the rope to measure.
Okay. All right, very good.
Want to send them down 12?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll stay still and send the spider down 12. We can absolutely measure all these later. I'm just trying to figure out where they're going.
Yeah, I know you are.
Redreth is getting impatient, so he's just okay. Come on, go.
Kaylee wants to know how far it is.
We can have more than one group of people. You could tie the rope around the cat too, and have the cat do a little measure these out if you want.
All right, so Redreth is coming over to 12. All right.
Yes. Yep.
Sending the spider through there.
Yep.
You don't know how long the spider goes through the mist, but then it comes out in an empty corridor. Now, let me check something quick.
This is where when we were doing our solo session, I caused Keith all kinds of grief with my spider.
Yes. Exactly. And this is kind of what we run into, and I'm kind of glad that it's you and your familiar as opposed to one of the other characters. But what I can say is that it comes out into a corridor you've been in before, because there is some of the parchment that you left on there, but I don't remember what marking you left on the parchment. I think it was an N, and that is to the spider's right as it comes in through the narrow way of this corridor. let's see if I can.
Okay, I believe that's the. All right. Here,
So if
I'll do this. I'll do this quick and I'll post this in the Discord. This is where I think that went.
Is it
It's
9? Where 9 connects to the next corridor?
It's
Just out of my own curiosity.
it's the side corridor of the one that's got the N.
Is it to the west of the octagonal room?
No,
Okay.
I think here I'll post this in the Discord. I believe this is. I'll put it in the campaign play, so I'm not confusing things up. I think that's where it went. There's a yellow arrow going out of 12 and connecting around.
This is what the spider seeds.
Yeah, I think. I think that's where the spider went.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So that, yeah, it would have been the one connected to 9, and it's to the west of the, whatchamacallit room.
Oh, that's right. West doesn't. Yeah, okay. For me, it's north, but
Gotcha.
That's what.
Yes.
Because my map is on the side, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Cool. Is that, if you think it's that one, I'm going to cross those rooms. Well, okay, I'm just kind of sitting around. So I'm going to go through 6 and 9 and see if I find Jim's spider to verify.
Well, we're all in the room labeled Bad Elf.
Oh, we're in Bad Elves. Oh, yeah. So I'm going over to 9 to see if I see Jim's spider.
Okay. And so you go out in number 9. There is, you open up the door, 10-foot clear section of corridor, section of mist just beyond it, only 2 ways in or out. It's not a multi-way intersection. You step through the mists. You don't know how long you go through it. And as you come out of the mists, you see the spider ahead and to your right.
Okay.
Yep,
so I'll yell down that corridor and say, yep, that's the one. And then I'm going to go back into Bad Elves' room.
I'm madly trying to update my map to keep up with all of this.
I'll send you my pick when I'm done with my mapping.
Okay.
I'm doing mine on paper.
And again, I'm sorry that I'm getting this part mixed up so bad, but that was Varric that came around to check the spider, right?
No, it was
that was Haig.
That was Haig. Okay. I'm glad I'm double checking at least. I'm not ashamed to make a fool of myself.
I can show you guys mine too. I'm doing mine on screenshot and my Note 8.
That token thing is really annoying, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All this shrinking and growing you guys are doing, your bones have got to be hurting.
That's right.
Elohir, can I borrow your chalk?
I will hand you a piece of my chalk.
Okay, so I'm going to go
Are
back
we
to spider
labeling
room.
anything in this current area?
I'm going to go to the room where the spider is and put 9, 14, 15, 16.
No, you're not.
Why?
Because where the spider came out is 12.
Oh, it's
Where
12.
you came
Yep.
out is 9.
Good call. 12, 4, 9, and then 12, 14, 15. That's right.
Hold on. So let's make sure I got these right then. All right. So came out of 9. So you're putting that one there, right?
Yeah.
And where the spider came out of, which we're representing with Redrith at the moment,
It's 12.
And there's an N down there. So you're going to replace that with a, or you're going to leave the N?
The N is actually under 9. The where 9 was the N, where the N sheet of paper was.
Oh, did I miss?
Because for me,
Oh, shoot.
for me it was north at the time, the very first time I went through it. So that's why
Correct.
I
So
marked it that
the
way.
N should have been here.
Is 9. Yep.
So 14 and 15
for-
works for me.
Yeah, and the way I was keeping track of
Okay,
these.
no, sorry. You did have this down here. The N references something else, Jim, remember? Based on your original notations when you first got in here. So 9 does lead back to the room with the elves.
Correct.
But N was to your right, not to your left. You were only labeling rooms at the time, not archways.
Well,
All right, in the interest of not making this too much more confusing, this is the first corridor you came out of when you went north when you first got here.
This is how I annotated it. I put it in the campaign play. That's how I annotated it the very first time I went through that room.
Oh, that's right, you did. So you did. Okay, yep. So you're right then. Never mind. So I need to move that over here. And now, of course, that's going to be a 9 and 12. Okay, so opposite 9 is going to be what?
14.
14.
And then 15 across from 12?
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Now we're cooking.
All right, so we're all grouping in this corridor, regrouping in this corridor then? Or are we heading back?
Looks like I would say heading back to the elves room.
Yeah,
Everything seems to lead there.
Elohir is going to insist that we do some that we measure 9 and 11 and 12.
Okay.
Redrith leaves her to it.
So we'll do.
She needs your assistance because she's staying in the room with one end, and she's keeping an eye on which way the rope pulls.
The cat's got it.
I was gonna say, have let's switch up. Let's switch up ropes. Let's tie Kitty to one. You guys do the measurements and we'll move on to 10 or maybe 15. So let's do 10 since we can all stay in the same room. What do you say?
The kitty will love it.
Sounds good.
At this point, Elohir will point out that she is also that she is noticing that you guys might think you're walking straight, but you're not, and she wants to record this in her map. And that she's noticing this because the rope will change angles. Instead of just going straight, it will turn.
Sure. Well, absolutely. I mean, we already know that because heck, some of these you go out of a doorway and you come back in the same doorway, or you come back in another doorway for the same room. So, yeah, we do not disagree. Redrith just wants to explore more corridors. So he says, absolutely.
On the other end of your rope
right.
Needs to pay attention.
There's got to be more than twists and turns in here.
There's no rope on the spider, and I'm sending the spider ahead. So
okay, well,
I'm just trying to figure out where things go.
Yeah, I'm putting you all back into the L firm at this point, / your camp area. All right, so Redrith, you're sending who where? Sending the spider through what?
Right out the other door, like
10, right?
Dan had said. Yep, number 10. I'll write out number 10.
Okay, so first of all,
Elohir is.
Yeah, I was going to point out, Kaylee, as you're coming back through, following or tracking Haig as he goes through number 9. You realize that's another short corridor. It's only 10 feet between those two sections.
Okay.
Redrith comes
Elohir
Go ahead.
is going to point out that it would be more efficient to do the measuring and the exploring at the same time, rather than taking the time to do the exploring without measuring at the same time. It will be more efficient.
It's more efficient to have two groups working. So absolutely. We'll figure out where it goes, and then you can figure out how far the distance is. Absolutely.
No, that's not what I said. It will be more efficient if you figure out where it goes while you're measuring it.
That's kind of what you're both saying, is that you're manning the rope length and counting the rope as they're the ones going through the corridors and choosing directions. Am I wrong?
Right, but they have explored more than has been measured.
Oh,
if
yeah,
they do the measuring while they explore it, then we won't have to.
You have not been doing it
process.
to this point, but I think they just agreed with you that you should be measuring the rope as they're moving forward. Right?
No, what he said was he wants to explore, and if I want to measure, then if I want to measure what has already been explored, he's going to keep exploring.
Yes.
Okay.
And he doesn't care about measuring, and that's not efficient.
No.
He's going to do the exploring, and then I have to measure what he's already explored.
Yes.
All right.
It will be more efficient if while you were exploring, you are measuring.
Okay. I'm indifferent to that. So I'm just sending my spider through. Besides, I'm not tying a rope around my spider. He's heading down corridor 10. So
we're just trying to do it faster.
All I can say is Mitchell just sat there just watching Mommy and Daddy fight over measuring and exploring.
Tie Kitty up real quick.
Okay, so spider going out number 10. Is that correct?
Is it possible for you to just give us the lengths real quick and say, hey, you did that with the rope?
Yep, we can do that. So which one are you on? So 9, as I said, was only a 10-foot length.
Yeah.
And Redrith as a magician, doesn't think that the distances really play into this, so he is not concerned. We're talking magic. We're going out one door and coming in another door when we were walking straight ahead. We're thinking that the magic makes it, the distances and the angles don't matter. So that's why he is completely dismissive of that. He's like, hey, if you want to measure, you go ahead and measure. I'm exploring.
Kaeloe is willing to admit that the geometry might not work out because magic, but she is a cartographer and therefore she wants measurements.
That's why he says have at it, but he is setting the spider down the different corridor.
Kaeloe would rather hold off on. If you're going to insist on exploring more now, then Kaeloe will insist that instead of just sending the spider, she ties a rope to somebody and they go so that she can measure while you're exploring. And then we can come back to these other measurements later.
We're still arguing about measurement. Let's say that we measured. Let's get the numbers and let's go. What numbers are you measuring? 9, 11, and 12, correct?
We got the measurement for 9. We just need the measurement for 11 and 12.
11 was 10 foot, if I remember, and then it spun him back around.
11 is weird. 11 is 10. The spider or whoever's leading goes 10 feet before the rope goes slack.
But it spits him back out, so it's not really a measurement. What was 12? I grabbed my kitty. I grabbed my rope. I grabbed
65 to 70 feet through 12.
Mint. All right, let's tie whoever to 10 and let's do this.
Later angled.
Huh?
Does it bend to the left?
12 does bend. It depends on which way you're going in.
Facing opposite of 5, going all the way back to.
If you're opposite 5 and someone goes through 12, it bends to the left. If you're opposite 15 and you're going through, it bends to the right.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Now, when you open the door for number 10 to send the spider through.
How long each direction?
Hold on.
It's a spider. He's not measuring.
I'm
as soon as you open
12.
the door for the spider, you see the 7
I'm back on 12.
that Varric had put there earlier.
70 feet.
12 was 65, 70 feet, bends to the left if you're opposite 5.
How long is each segment
Segment of what?
of 12's corridor?
That was 65 to 70 feet.
Total.
Yes.
Correct.
Is it in 2 segments like some of the others?
No.
Or is it?
No.
It's just at an angle.
Correct.
Bends
Angle
around soft
and
bend.
long.
Okay, sorry.
In the Discord campaign play channel. There you go. That's Red Dress answer.
See if I'm tracking with the same thing you've got.
All right. I'm going to suggest that we take another 10-minute break. I got a few things
Okay.
I got to address on this side and figure out where you guys want to proceed from here.
I know where Mitchell's going to want to proceed. He's going to run back to that room where the well is just so he gets a piece of quiet.
Did we lose Dan?
Except you have a rope tied around you, so you're not getting far.
Looks like Dan dropped out. All right, we'll meet back here at the top of the hour, and we'll do our last hour in a solid block. Sound good?
Okay, sounds good. Very good.
Catch you on a bit.
Hello?
There we go.
Hey, Dan, we're going to take a 15-minute break, okay? We'll meet
Sounds
back
good.
at the top of the hour and then do our last hour in a solid block.
Very
Hopefully
good.
We'll get out of the mists, or at least find
Oh
something
my-
a little entertaining.
Oh, my
I'm
dog
hoping you guys
farted
are
in
having
here.
fun. I'm just worried about it getting too monotonous for you. I'm like feeling maybe I made it a little too large, but we'll see how you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think it's making sense. I think we just have to make sure that everybody has the information they want, but we got to do it efficiently as possible.
Yes, I agree. And I will say that Alex does have a good idea in trying to keep track of measurements. Even if there is magic, there's always the possibility she could get some information out of tracking all of this.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That, and it's
All right.
just the way my brain works.
Yeah, and nothing against Jim, because I can totally understand Red Trust's sentiment that, yeah, distance doesn't measure, and I'm more interested in finding out what's going on. So, you know, I'm just hoping it's not a player discrepancy, but it is definitely an appropriate character discrepancy.
Oh yeah. I'm ready to move on too. I'm feeling Jim's vibe, but I get respecting Alex's desires too.
Right, and I can also see like Ant's viewpoint and Matt's viewpoint. It's like, okay, yeah, let's just do this. Whatever you want to do, let's just keep playing. So
yeah,
I'm trying to keep everyone happy here, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
All right, 15.
All right, see you guys in a bit.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Somebody dropped out of Fantasy Grounds. That's a bad sign.
Oh, look like Dan character. If I'm correct, I'm sure Jim will correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I let it sit long enough for it to go to sleep.
Oh.
Jeez, I let it sit long enough for the TV to power down.
Well, not supposed to do that.
While we're waiting for Keith, did everybody have a great Thanksgiving?
This is the first Thanksgiving I've missed since 1998 with my family.
Yeah. Well, hopefully next year you'll be able to make up for it.
Yeah, some of this COVID stuff sucks.
I didn't have any pie.
Oh, I
You
had
notice
pie.
When we were done, we never got any dessert because somebody was supposed to come and then they couldn't come because they had to go someplace else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get any fucking dessert.
Oh no.
No, my father-in-law dropped us off an 18-inch Costco apple pie. It was delicious.
Nice. I got enough food that I could probably feed everybody here and their family, including you, Dan. I still have enough turkey and shit left for fucking
yeah.
15 people. Yeah, man. Italians, bro.
What do you normally do with your leftover turkey? Do you normally use it for sandwiches, or do you normally turn it into like casserole or stew or turkey and apple puree?
Well, my old lady's mom is making soup with the carcass and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
And then we'll do like sandwiches and shit with the rest of it. Thanksgiving garbage plates.
Yeah, normally when I have like a lot of leftover turkey, I normally go down apple turkey curry route, but I'm just a big fan of spicy stuff.
Nothing wrong with a little leftover turkey, some mayo or Miracle Whip, and some pepper.
Oh, yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Sandwich.
Indeed.
Of course, there's also nothing wrong with throwing it in a crock pot substituted for chicken and making some turkey noodle soup.
Mm-hmm. Good sleep aid. That's for sure.
Yeah. Did I miss something? Hold on. What's up with the 10-7? Did we already know that? Matt, are you typing while you're on Zoom on your phone?
I am, yeah, and I don't have my earbuds in, so
That's why we're hearing.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, bad.
The vibration feature on your button presses.
My bad.
Take it now. Thank giving it over for you lot. I take it a bunch of your kids starting to do the little Christmas jiggle dance.
I'm talking about going to get our tree possibly tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yes.
We already got ours up.
Yeah, we got ours yesterday, but we don't have any lights or anything for it. All our light strings broke, so we had to order those.
We have
Oh,
a fake
man.
tree.
I don't know
We
if
have a
I'll
fake
ever be
tree,
able to
too.
make that move.
But the lights that are on the fake tree, it came with the lights, and so the light strings are twined in and amongst the
Yep.
branches, and they've like all broken. We can't get them to work.
Well, ours was like that. And my wife was like, well, I can't find the end of it, so I'm just going to cut them all out. And then she found the end of it after she had like cut all the lights off it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, well, fuck it. So, yeah, that's fun. And our Maria and Fluffball, our elf, and the elf's pet riding fucking deer came back yesterday. Elf on the shelf business. Every night I get laid down in bed and I'm like, fuck it, and move the elf.
I don't even remember what we did with our elf on the shelf, but it. I mean, I'm bad at putting money under the pillow for the tooth fairy. The heck am I gonna do with an elf on the shelf every night till Christmas?
The left it in my pocket.
Yeah, we never bothered to get one because the dogs would destroy it.
Yeah.
I wanted a Krampus in the corner, but they sold out. They sell out like mad quick. And I never ended up getting one. Krampus night is actually like next weekend. So remind your kids, they better be good or they get beat with reeds with their name carved in them.
You might have to share what Krampus is, Maddie. I don't know if many people know.
Krampus is the anti-Santa. He's a demon that beats bad kids with reeds with their name carved in them. He puts them in sacks, eats some of them. They're really bad. My kids were so creeped out all the time. They didn't like not being with us on Krampus night.
I'm about to say he's an Eastern European.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They celebrate Krampus night in Germany every year. Krampusnacht. Yep. I'd love to be there for that. That shit looks awesome.
I mean, to be honest with you, it'll make a pretty epic D&D game.
Yeah, right. Fighting Krampus.
Yeah, like basically people go missing in the village, and you got to find out like who taking them.
Yeah.
I am back.
You'd spend Krampus with some like night hag fucking stats.
Yeah.
Really work in the kidnapping and stuff. Yeah.
Welcome back, Keith.
Thank you. So have we decided which way you're going next?
Redrith knows which way his spider's going.
Where are you sending the little back in?
Well, the spider went out 10. Where did it end up?
I told you, as soon as you open the door to 10, you see the symbol for 7.
Okay.
Varric had left earlier.
Ah, very good. I think I had taken off my headphones when you mentioned
Gotcha.
that. Cool.
So you go out 10 and once you open the door, you see the symbol for 7?
Well, remember, Varric had gone through 7. He came to a door at the end of his corridor, and instead of opening the door, he just marked the 7 and then turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the heavy door leads back into Bad Elf's room.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Knock first.
Strange magic.
All right. So as soon as we open the door, we see that. Perfect. That's good to know.
So I think for the group that for everybody but Redrith, I'm getting the feeling that we started where the end of the maze, quote unquote, is.
Or
Wow.
one end of it, anyway.
Right. But all the good stuff is on our end. We've got Plain Door, the Sphinx Room, and the Knock First Room. And Jim just has a whole, I mean, with the exception of the octagonal room. That's interesting. Okay. Okay.
You're missing the piles of dead too.
Yes.
Yeah, he had all the fun.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm really regretting not just stepping through the fire with you. That would have been fun. You guys would have got there finally, and we'd have been like, yeah, they're all dead. Haig wouldn't have taken that head injury.
Got all kinds
Rub
of
it in.
facts running through my head right now.
Rub it in.
I want to burn it with you.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? Hop over to 15?
Mm-hmm. And send somebody with a rope.
Yes. Did you get what was the space between 7? Those are, I'm assuming that's a really short
10
stretch,
feet.
Keith. 10 feet.
7 to 10, I already got measurements for when we went from archway 7.
Gotcha.
And that's the way we should go.
So 15.
So 15 can be next.
Okay, so
That's my volume.
Time for some more icon adjustment. Come on. Why? Why does it keep doing that? It's not fair.
Launch game.
It's not even shrinking them. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'm moving the whole party down to that corridor where you came across 15, or you put the sign for 15.
Yeah.
How many people are on the water?
And it's Varric and Redrith that are exploring together, right?
Yep.
You got the rope back on, Varric?
I can, yeah.
Varric can hold the rope. Redrith isn't going to.
Okay. Being all hoity-toity.
He's being all, let's get the freak on with this.
And Varric's only taking it because you guys are like, it's important. And he's like, all right. Okay. He says it's not, but I mean, if you guys think it's important.
Okay.
All I can keep thinking of is Rock from Way of Kings and just
Stormlight.
like airsick. Yeah, airsick.
Airstick Lowlanders, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I thought of the first time you guys chose Goliath. Was absolutely. You've got to make up names like his full name.
Yeah, right.
Monokalakalui Iolonamore. Ian can actually say that name.
I was about to say, Jesus, man. Like, anyway, sorry.
I just remember the Lunamore ending. I make up the first part.
Point
Maki Aki Aki Uni Lunamore.
Kiliki Maka.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, we going up 15.
Yep, 15 it is. Yeah, I've got the
All
rope.
right. So you proceed through the corridor for roughly about 30 feet.
30 feet. Thanks, Matt. It's a wise way.
You said 30 feet?
Yep.
Okay.
And you find yourself in an identical corridor
I've never seen that
with a similar orientation.
Do we have any sticky notes visible?
No, there's been no marker left behind in this one, at least not yet.
Ooh.
So, but I'm leaving the 15 on there so that you know where you came from. And I presume that's where you're going to put
The
a
marker,
15.
yeah.
Are there any markings on the walls? Like, are any of these archways marked already? Like
Nope,
any
other
indications?
than the
Okay.
different decor that you are finding in some of the areas, there's nothing distinguishing about any of these areas.
Okay.
From the corridor we're in,
Hold on one moment. I need to do something quick.
Jim, has your character been keeping a map,
Yeah.
or only going by the notes?
No, the map that I posted in the Discord is exactly what my character's been sketching.
So you have been sketching. Okay.
All right.
So by judging on what Redreth has shared with us, from where 15 is, do we smell anything?
I was just going to point out that Redreth, you are used to this by now, or you have encountered this before, but Kaeli, you are now also picking up a bad smell. Stench of carrion can be detected coming from your left. So, Redreth, you are correct. You were looking for it. You noticed it. Kaeli picked up on it before you had a chance to say anything. Rest of you don't notice anything until one or both of them are like, what died?
I thought the only ones who went through 15 were Redreth and Varric.
Yeah, I was going to point that out.
Point.
Like I said, he was
Very
asking for the smell. So basically, yeah, he did pick up on it at first. But yeah, Kaeli, you're going to notice it as soon as you walk in the room or in that corridor.
So I would send my spider through towards the decay smell, because there's two different decay smells that I have run across, and I would send the spider towards the smell to see which one we are talking about here.
Right.
And you said that, let me move my character. You said that the smell was coming from this way,
corridor
right?
At this point.
Yep. So you're where I moved Redreth through, that's where the decay smell's coming from. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So if I send the spider through there, do I see piles of dead, or do I see chests piled on a sledge?
You see neither.
I was going to say, I think.
Of course.
I think, if I'm looking at the map correctly, because he said there's no notes in where we came through 15, I think there might be a layer of rooms before we get to the hallway that you're talking about, since he says there's no notation in this room. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying that when I go through there, I don't see the piles of dead, and I don't see the sledge with the chests on it, right?
That is correct. The smell, which the spider obviously can pick up, is coming from its right.
Okay. Which would, okay, so let's
Hold on a second.
Let's
Before we
mark-
proceed any further, do you want to number or mark the archways in the room that the rest of you?
that's what I was just gonna say. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we move on, let's mark this room 16. Let's
17,
continue.
18.
Yeah, continue clockwise or
Counterclockwise.
counterclockwise. Yeah.
Getting on it, timed out. I don't think I have anything in Water World.
Good times.
I'm trying to do my best.
John B.
There's only so much automation here. All right, so there we've got those 4 in there. Make sure.
And where the spider came through, it was another 4-way intersection.
Yep, looks identical to the one that you're in right now, and you enter it from the same angle too.
I might be going back and facing. For some reason, I didn't see so.
So based on that, you would have another room like this, but instead you would have 15. And then shall I presume you're going to continue to number them 19, 20, and 21 counterclockwise?
We wouldn't have 15, right, Keith? We'd have 18
Correct.
and then 19 through 21. Yeah.
Mhm. And so it would be 19 that the spider detects the smell, a stronger sense of the smell coming from.
Very good. Strange magic. Now I'm drawing into my bad elves room.
Yeah, I'm just running stuff all over the place. Okay, so 18 connects. Do you have 19 up or 18 and 19? Do you have that map up?
It's basically the same area, like I said, so I would have to just be sitting there deleting those numbers. And
Okay, so it comes. So okay, so explain that room to me again. The spider comes out of the side this time.
no, again, he would be coming out of where it says 15. So let me go ahead and move these around a little.
Okay, perfect. Comes out of where it says 15. Perfect.
Let me just move you all back over here so that we know that you're not in this area.
Where's that us? What about this ramp?
Yeah, I got to import your spider token. So let's see.
And it's another intersection. So can we just send, let's just send Varric through and get the measurement.
Okay, so the spider being where Redreth is currently on that map. He smells this. It picks up the scent of the carrion coming from area 19.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna send Varric through if he's willing. Probably with a light source or and
Redreth will
so he
happily
can go
follow.
mark things.
Yeah, I'll follow the spider through. Once I did, basically the spider is there to tell me that there's no enemies in the room waiting for me to walk into. And
Right.
so yeah,
Right.
so I'll
Okay,
carry this. I'll carry the sword and the light. And if Varric wants to hold the rope and go through, that's perfectly fine. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
Now,
So how?
for the rope, Kaylee, it turns hard right and wraps around the archway itself shortly after he goes in. And you let go of about 30 feet of rope before he stops.
So 18 is a hard bend.
So that's actually a turn, and you said 30?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But again, Varric or whoever's leading the rope has no clue that they're turning. They're pretty insistent that they're following a straight wall.
Right.
Right, so where are we? On the boat?
Interesting.
So we will follow through into 18 there. And then the decay smell is coming from down by 19. So I will move right up to the archway and then send the spider through to see what's on the other side.
Since we seem to be moving forward at this point, I will follow Varric.
And after a little bit, the spider comes into a familiar corridor, at least for the mage.
And which corridor does he come from?
That's what you had the spider go down 19, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
So am I at the top of this?
Correct. Yes, the spider's coming in.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, this is all stuff I've explored before. Once I see that, then I'm like, oh, okay, now I know where we are. On my previous drawing, the corridors marked 18, 19, 20, and 21 are east 1, north 2 on my grid that I had made up. So that's what was. So I will, even though east and north and stuff don't make sense in the way this is all oriented, I will fix my drawing and post it. Now I know exactly where we are. I see that. I'm like, oh, okay. Very good. This is the in my drawing
at this point, so I'll wait until the rest of the party's in there before I share any details.
I'm going to send Varric through to, because the spider can't mark with chalk and the spider's not connected to a rope that I can measure. So I'm going to send Varric through so I can measure how far that corridor is.
Yeah, I've been staying with Redrith, so if he stepped into the room.
Yeah, I'll go in and collect the spider. It's fine.
Like, let's just say, like, once we enter a new room, Varric will give 2 tugs. You can take your measurement, and then he starts walking. You know what I mean? Once a new corridor is entered,
No,
or
you
marked.
don't
Once a
start
mark.
walking. You don't
Once a mark is
start
made.
walking because I don't want you to go anywhere until I join you. Measurements are more accurate that way.
Okay.
So, are there any angles in 19, and how far is it?
No angles, straight through, 10 feet.
Okay, so so there's only a total of 3 exits, not the usual 4. It's a T intersection.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so directly across from 19 is going to be 22. And then the other one is going to be 23.
Okay. So are we moving? Is everyone moving over to here?
I think so.
Sure.
Redrith knows exactly where we are, so he's just basically idly letting everybody else mentally catch up with where he already knows we are.
All I'm going to say is it's so good playing a druid right now.
Okay.
So there in the Discord, this is Redrith. This is why Redrith recognizes it. This is where we actually are.
The mist part to reveal a T-shaped intersection. Strewn all about are bodies in various states of decay. All died in battle.
Redrith points to corridor that is now marked 22 and says, I know exactly where that one goes. I don't know where
Yeah,
that one goes as he points to 23. So
yeah, and Kaya Lily mutters to herself, yeah, but you don't know how far it is.
and don't care.
I just look between both of them and just going, meow.
Back to the image in the Discord. Magic. All magic.
Strange magic.
Don't care. Haig says, don't care.
Well, that's fine. If you want to measure it, absolutely measure it. Get your measurement. He does the let's move this along, get your measurement. But 23, well, you can measure 22. I know where that comes. That will come out by a sledge with some chests and a skeleton laying in front of it. The top chest was trapped and had nothing of value in it. But there are 2 chests underneath that could potentially be explored if somebody wanted to check them for traps. But that's, if we want to head that direction, we absolutely can.
Like, you want to check 23 first?
Oh, yeah, my spider is absolutely going to head down that direction. Just see if there's any bad guys down there first. So.
All right, so spider heads on down, direction 23.
Did we check the bodies on these at all?
Redreth never did, but we absolutely could do that now.
Yeah. Can I do that?
I don't see why not. Jim, you see chat?
Boy, let me hang on. Let me look at my notes.
Is that a survival on checking the bodies or perception or which?
No, it's not. Oh, okay. No, Keith's question to me was something else. So,
right. What do you want me to roll for perception on the bodies, Keith?
Usually investigation.
That's going to be an investigation, I believe, right?
Investigation. Even better yet.
Usually.
Okay. So, it's a lot of carnage here, Haig. Bodies that you don't see any 2 that are alike, so it doesn't even appear like it was a battle or one side versus another. It just seems like a free-for-all. Any equipment that might have been useful was pretty much damaged in the fight or has since rusted or decayed away into nothing. So for the most part, you really don't find anything worthwhile.
Okay.
And Redreth pulls from his inventory a sword and says, actually, I found this on the one of the bodies here. There was
a sword
in the middle. Yeah, there was this body. He points to the body in the middle and said it's a nice sword and it's got, okay, I'm going to put this in chat because I cannot, it's got this written on it. Enduval. Is that how that's pronounced?
Yep.
Oh, it's a special sword.
Some sort.
Inscribed on the blade by the hilt.
Yep.
And it is a long sword.
Have you checked it for magical anything?
It's gleaming, but I don't think I ever took the time to do that. No. We can do that at our next rest.
I think we should do that.
Okay. Probably not sitting here by the dead bodies, but
I was going to point out to each of you, since I cannot put them into your inventory until you've fully identified what they are. Someone please keep a record of what you're going to be identifying and what room it was found in, so that I can reference them when you guys do decide to take your rest.
yeah, I'll do it.
So we have that sword, and we also have, you already did the ring, but I thought there was one other thing also that you were.
The light warhammer
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
needs to be identified.
Light Warhammer. And that was from the side of the evil elves room.
Yeah, that was from door 8.
And behind door number 8, we have. Okay, and
While
did the
we're
ring
discussing inventory
need
items,
to be?
while we're discussing inventory items, Keith, the silver ring in my inventory is still unidentified. Is that deliberate or an oversight?
Deliberate.
Okay.
Just because I have to clean up some indicators to links that would give you the wrong impression.
Okay. That's fine.
So it is.
You know
So
what
I don't. That's not one I need to identify, right?
Correct.
No,
The
it is
ring
not one
already
you need
did
to identify.
as a ring of flying.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very good.
You know what I just figured out looking at the map? If
What?
all the halls lead back to the same area, just from a different direction, we could have just put one number in the center of the floor and figured out how the hallways work.
No, not quite.
If they all lead, if the hallways don't switch, we would have gone into the same room, but from a different corridor, and we still could have measured the corridors and figured out where the corridors go by using one number. Just saying. I mean, we don't have to change it now, but I mean, I think knowing that how the corridors worked, but I'm just looking at this and I think that's logically sound. Maybe not, but anyway, besides the point.
All right, so send the spider on through to another standard 4-way intersection.
This is 23.
Correct. The distance. Oh, you're sending the spider through first, so you know.
Yeah, first just to see if there's any enemies or anything.
Right. So in this case, no enemies. Another empty corridor.
Okay.
Lengthwise, running vertical.
Then I give Varric the gesture after you, and we walk through there.
Mm-hmm.
Distance.
It's right behind you. I gave you the measurement on that, right, Alex?
Not that I heard.
5, 10, 20 feet.
Straight?
$20 feet for 23, yes.
Okay.
And the spider can still smell the stench of carrion coming from behind it. And you're all following in, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe these ones are need to be labeled 24, 25, and 26.
Is there any
Counterclockwise from
writing?
where we entered.
Any writing or anything recognizable that might let me know?
Nothing distinguishing in this corridor.
Okay.
No indications that any of us have been here.
None whatsoever.
Interesting. But he's rolling dice.
Okay, so what are you going to do now?
All right. So if the stench of carrion is still coming from behind me, obviously I would have followed the spider through. I would say I would turn to, since Varric and Hager right there, I'd turn and say, straight forward, onward, see where we go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So we'll go out 25, or I'll send the spider through 25 and then follow if there's no bad guys.
Okay, so let's see. Miss Park to reveal a 10-foot square clear intersection of archways. 3 archways are filled with rust-colored mists, and the 4th is blocked by a heavy wooden door. So, hold on a second.
Any markings?
On the no, nothing distinguishing in here.
Okay.
But it is rather it is a unique location physically. You have not yet seen a 4-way intersection that includes a door as one of the options.
Okay.
Interesting.
And are we approaching it in the orientation of the map from the south, north, east, or west? Oh, very good.
Aha! Map loading.
Yeah, you went through to the right. So.
And I got really big as I came through.
Let's keep messing with these.
Cast and large.
That's right.
I'll just keep thinking of Alice in Wonderland, you know, when she goes through the certain door and then the room on the other side is too small for or too big.
Exactly. So is that a wooden door?
Yeah, another heavy plank door.
Interesting. Interesting.
So since Redreth and then Varric follows along behind or follows through immediately after, we will mark them. So it'll be 25, then 26. The door will be 27 and 28 will be the top. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
How far is it? What's my distance?
Through 25?
Yeah, through 25.
Length through 25 is only 10 feet.
Okay. Definitely gonna have to redraw this after we've gotten all our measurements and such.
Yep, I'm gonna do the same. Mine is kind of spidered off to the side.
Mine is in chunks now. I have chunk A and chunk B.
Yeah, once I started scribbling over other rooms, I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna let Jim and Alex figure it out. Sorry.
No,
Funny,
I get
not
it.
funny.
I definitely get it.
So at this point, I am somewhat lost.
That's basically what you're looking at right there on the shared screen.
Okay.
Okay, so we follow through. Obviously, we're not going to open the door yet. I would assume we don't want to kick off another issue if we don't have to.
Yeah.
Unless we had everybody here. So yeah.
In the room with the door, guys. In the room with the door. So we come in at 25, and then we have 27, and then going counterclockwise, we have 27. 28 is the door.
Ah, okay.
And then
Yeah.
29 is the top.
Right. Okay. Because we've already used 26 previously.
Correct. And we do not know how they connect up. I suspect they don't, just because of the way the others connected, but it's entirely possible.
Okay. So you got your measurements and whatnot. We can either explore from here, go down 27 or up, or, up 29, or go back and do 24 or 26.
Or we could go back or do 16 or 17.
I know where 16 goes, but you can measure it.
Oh, that's right. You do know where.
Yep. But I haven't numbered all those. So yeah, we can head back that way, or if we want to go off of these and see where we wind up. Either way is good.
Either works. I do want to get measurements though.
Redreth would like to go back to the 23, 24, 25, and 26 and try 24 and see if that brings us out somewhere recognizable. And I'll say this just because we're at 2:45, and so we can maybe just in the off time just say we went and measured the other corridors that have all already been explored.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we don't
Looks
need
like
to
there's
do.
a few that you haven't explored though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Including 24 or 26. We can just start with those since we're right there.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch that we haven't. But, yeah.
Yeah, basically I put the black arrows. I've got arrows going both ways between where the corridors connect up. And so if it doesn't have a black arrows going out of it, it has not been explored yet.
Right.
So we're bringing everyone back to the 23, 24, 25, 26 intersection, right?
Correct.
I think we did. There's a little bit
Since-
more room there.
Yeah, since we're right there. And we will just arbitrarily eeny, meeny, miny, mo and go down 24.
Okay.
So we're going down here to 24.
Yeah.
My keyboard mixed up. I'm going to keep the Goliaths bigger and see if we can remember who's who. Looks like these little cycles. There we go. All right. Jeez. Okay. Going out from 24 to 16.
And you got really quiet, Keith. Did you move your mic away or something?
Yes, I did. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Sorry about that. I'm having keyboard and mouse issues. There we go. All right.
Oh, lovely. What fun.
Hey, you know, I got to share the wealth. All right, so head on down. Da, 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 da. Whoa. Okay, I think I got everything right here. Address. And once again, oversized. Shrink you into nothingness. All right, so once again, another 10-foot square clear intersection of archways, 3 filled with rust-colored mist, and the 4th blocked by a heavy wooden door.
Which one did we go through?
That was 24.
Okay.
And the distance on that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 to 40 feet, with the rope bending to the left after about 20.
Okay. I chose this one. I give Alex the chance to, or Kaylee the chance to choose which direction we go next. We can go back. We can go to the wherever. Doesn't matter to me, as long as we keep moving forward.
Are we going to number these?
Yes, 24 is that one coming in. So we'll go, we've already counted up to 29. So the one to the left will be 30. Is
The
that
door
correct?
would be 31.
Yeah. And then the other corridor would be 32.
Hey. Let's follow 30.
Very good.
Okay, sending the spider in.
That we start with the spider, and then we'll
Is
Eric
everyone
and
joining?
Redreth
Is
will
everyone
follow.
joining Redreth over there, or no?
I'm assuming they're always one room behind.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
That way,
Yeah, that's
Kale
kind
gets
of-
a good measurement.
So you send the spider through room 30, and you run
Yes.
into another one of those situations where he comes back out, and you're looking at yourself.
Oh, fabulous.
Wait,
And
That
don't I
time.
look
so
good?
30. Excuse
so
me.
30 bends back on itself.
So
Yes.
it would seem, since Redreth is staying behind, and he sees him in sees him there when he comes back out.
Okay. I would like to attempt to measure that real quick.
So you're going to head down there.
I'm gonna send Varric
Okay.
on the rope.
So yeah, Kale will come down to that room and then send Varric through the doorway to try and get a measurement.
Through the archway, through 30.
Yes.
So this is about, again, 10 to 15 feet before the rope goes slack, and it's about the same amount of time before he comes back out.
Okay, try 32.
Okay, so
spider first, I suspect.
Yep.
Da, 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 da.
So did we wind up anywhere recognizable?
Yep. So you're
Or
going
did
out
this-
30.
He's still
You're going out 32, correct?
Correct.
correct.
And it is 3 o'clock, almost on the nose.
Excuse me.
It's all right.
Thank you.
So those, you walk into an area that apparently you've been to before because you see room markers or portal markers or whatever you want to call them.
Oh, so 31 is actually 27.
No, 31 was the door.
Correct. Yeah, so the gate that you're
So-
coming out of,
Oh.
say 27 there. I'll just clarify that.
Oh,
So we went.
So we go-
went through. We went through an archway labeled 32, and we came out the archway labeled 27.
perfect.
Okay. And I would like to measure that.
So I think you guys got a lot of map compiling to do for the next couple of weeks.
Yes, I need to redraw this.
I was hoping for a little more than just map maze exploration, but you know, I'm having fun if you guys are.
How far through the map are we? That will answer that question for you.
Yeah, without giving too much away, you are. All right, I can say there is a lot more of the map to explore on this level.
Whew.
That being said, if the right choices are made, you could be only a few steps away from getting out.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like Alex. I like to. I'm a full map opener.
If you want to explore
if-
the whole map, we probably have at least 2 more sessions of this.
Oh my gosh.
But if you guys are paying attention and not being completionists, there's every reason to think that we could, you know, get out of this level before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
So I'll let you guys think about it. There is more to it than just each of these corridors, but if you want, I will suggest that unless you're waiting for wandering monsters, you're going to want to open some doors.
And what was the measurement for 37 to or 32 to 27?
32 to 27, the measurement there without any apparent turns would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, the reason that we have enough choices to explore for completionist's sake without opening doors. So I think that's why we haven't opened any doors yet.
Understood.
It's not to say we.
Go ahead.
That's not to say that we are reluctant to open doors. It's just we have enough choices without opening doors. So why would we bother with opening doors? We have enough to explore.
Right. And all I'm sharing with you is that if you're interested on thoroughly exploring everything without opening doors at this point, you're going to be doing this for another session or two, not counting wandering monster checks.
Right.
So if you want to break the monotony, open up some doors. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We might do that next session.
Yes. Sounds good to me. We got how many doors in this last section? How many doors did we have pop in front of us? 2?
2 or 3?
Yeah. Might be time to pop some doors. Because if we're going through the motions and we have a lot more map to do, I think we better start clearing as we're getting to, instead of saying, okay, we open here, we'll save this for later, because I'm bored.
Basically, what I am saying is that you're not going to run into any encounters in the mists short of wandering monsters. So I am giving that much away.
Hacky stabby.
Yeah, I want to try.
All I say is let's go and open like 3 doors at the same time. And make it a little more exciting.
I will remind you guys, encounters to me don't just include NPC interactions, including monsters. So, you know, there are traps, there are clues, there are puzzles, you've run into inscriptions. Opening doors are just going to lead to something different than exploring the mist and adding numbers to maps.
Right.
So I think this is a fun way to approach it. I just want to make sure you guys don't get bored because you're trying to be completionists.
Right.
And it's not even suggesting don't be completionists, just break up the monotony by exploring, you know, a door here or two and then coming in if you're not ready.
Aren't you glad you had Redreth to explore half the map for you?
You wish. You wish. Redreth wishes that was half.
Measuring not important. Pshaw.
All right, I'm gonna say
there's a solid philosophical difference right there.
Alex, I will say I'm looking forward to you finding a creative way to make use of that distance information.
I will think about that.
Well, it would put the mage in his place. He'd have to give you some respect, you know, if begrudgingly.
We just have to figure out what the significance is.
This map is going to be expensive. We're gonna be able to make a lot of money off it.
Yep.
Well,
all right. I got family waiting for me, guys. I got to scoot.
Not a problem. Hope you guys all had fun.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right.
See everybody in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Yep.
So that'll be the 12th, I believe.
Yep.
Most certainly.
Ooh, the 12th. I don't know for sure. It will depend on my father. That is his birthday.
Gotcha. No, family birthdays definitely come first. So yeah, just give us a heads up if you can.
Yeah, I will. I know if it was my mother, she would insist on having a family day. I do not know what my father will insist on. So I will keep you posted.
Well, if it'll help out, and since you guys are all mostly East Coast, if we need to start a little earlier to get some game time in, I mean, you would have to get up early, Alex. But I'd be willing to get myself up a little earlier and do a session a bit earlier if we need to accommodate, if everyone else is up for it.
That's fine by me. Just post it in the Discord so Dan can see it too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Ending recording of session 16.